We were joined by Eddie, Kai, and Chase from This Week on Stadia to discuss Amazon's Luna as the hot topic for the Stadia Source Roundtable podcast on Thursday, September 24th. Take a look. Guys and gal, grab a hold of your Tesla ball and watch the sparks fly. It's time for the hot topic. You like that one? I didn't say it right, but did you like that one?
They just get worse.
That's a good one.
Watch your Starks fly. By the way, members, if you join our channel right now, down at hit that join button down below at the silver level or higher, you can watch how utterly terrible I am at pronouncing things through a members only blooper reel from the newsfeed. Everybody else will get that video next week. But we appreciate our members who have joined using that join button down below. Guys, there was some news today. Amazon, a company that you might know from delivering your toilet paper in just 2 days flat, decided today to, in the middle of their show where they rolled out all the new Alexas, which is now a little ball, and their flying security camera drone, which was kind of interesting. They also announced a little thing they're calling Amazon Luna, which happens to be...
Luna.
I don't know what that means. What's a chicken boona? Oh, no idea. I'm from Freedom Land. We don't have that here. Amazon Luna, Amazon's cloud gaming system, announced today. Pretty big news. So the basics of Luna, for those of you who are just hearing about this for the first time right now, which I can't imagine is very many people, is it is a cloud game streaming service very similar to Amazon. It's extremely similar to Amazon, very similar to Stadia, where it works on any screen. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But they are taking a different approach to the structure of the game streaming service. They are basically going to be charging a small monthly fee. Early access right now is $5.99 a month to get you access to a channel called Luna Plus. And the Luna Plus channel has more than 50 games that you just get Netflix of gaming style. And then there will be an Ubisoft channel that gets released in the future with 50 games plus in that to get you things, including day-and-date releases for things like Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legions, etc. So I certainly want to get first reactions on this from everybody. Eddie, this kind of came out of nowhere today, didn't it?
Completely took everyone by surprise with this Nintendo Switch Pro control.
Yeah,
I guess the thing
that lovely controller right there
with Google Assistant, Alexa Assistant button as well. I believe it indeed took everyone by surprise, who were not expecting, because I believe everyone here on this panel was already expecting something coming from Amazon. It finally arrived, and I think the announcement got everyone by surprise, but the thing that got everyone by surprise, it's the model they're choosing, which is in between a Game Pass model and Uplay Plus model, if we should say that. But there are a lot of questions still to be answered. Like, are we going to get first-party titles as well? Meaning first-party titles such as New World? Are we gonna get games such as Cyberpunk 2077 gonna drop on the service, or is gonna be something just like PlayStation Now when we're getting a library of old games?
Yeah, it's definitely when you look at the list of games, there's a whole bunch of stuff in a lot of assorted things, including Sonic Mania, right there, Dan. I know you're just.
Shut up.
You gotta tell us what your affection is for Sonic Mania and why you're so angry at Amazon for having that.
It's just the best game ever. That's why.
I did enjoy it quite. I bought it for my Switch, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. But looking through their games in here, of course, they've got some of the new ones like Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion over there. But I did notice as I was looking through this list, a lot of games that are also available on like Xbox Game Pass. Things like Metro, 2 Point Hospital, Biohazard, Overcooked 2. So you kind of get a little bit of both. Plague Tale up here on the right hand side, Brothers as well. Kai, what was your initial reaction when you saw all this shenanigans today?
I was like, I was confused for a second. I was like, what is this? But as I started looking at it, it was interesting because I was like, it really does remind me of Stadia on how it looks, how they're playing about it. I mean, they said you could sign up, and maybe get the early access. So I went ahead and did it, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, honestly, to be completely honest with you, it's kind of how I felt when I heard about Stadia. I was just like, okay, what's really going on? What are they planning on doing? How are they going about doing this? So there's a lot of questions that that I'm skeptical about. I'm skeptical about the whole thing in general with Amazon and their cloud gaming platform. But this is cloud gaming right here. We're in cloud gaming, so if they're going to do it, they're going to be taking bits and pieces from everything that deals with cloud gaming, and they're going to be implementing it. And it'll be interesting to see what they do. It's interesting to the fact that they have this controller though, which I was looking at as of right now, early access. $490 or $49.99, which is the cheapest controller out there right now for gaming.
Looks it.
So it's just like, is it cheap because it's cheap? Like, is it just terrible? Like that's another thing. You want to make sure the controller feels good. You don't want a cheap controller that's going to break on you at any given moment. So, it's interesting.
We said it looks like one of those cheap third-party Mad Catz Xbox controllers.
Exactly.
The ones you pick up like
that right there.
It definitely, it kind of looks like it maybe has like a rubberized texture to it.
Mm-hmm.
The Twitch purple accents there. Of course, they've got all this lighting stuff going on, so this could be just a generic gray controller with purple little accents there. But it's got the button for pulling up Alexa, which you can say, play whatever. I hope I didn't just trigger anybody's devices there. And at least on the landing page, they're talking about Twitch, and they're talking about the integration to be able to play when you're watching a streamer. But some of the articles from Engadget and The Verge mentioned that it's going to be the other way around, that you can also stream from the service as well, very similar to what what Luna, I'm somehow merged these two systems in my brain. I'm going to let somebody else talk for a second because I clearly can't keep these together. Scarlett, give us your thoughts on this.
So I'm going to be that person who's on the other side of the field. I like the way the controller looks. I think it's pretty. I also really like purple. It's my second favorite color after red. So I have used Twitch multiple times because it directly integrates with my PlayStation. So I really like that there's already Twitch in here because it makes sense. Amazon owns Twitch. There's, Twitch Prime, blah, blah, blah. I don't like that they're being open and honest, like you're going to have to buy more channels, but they're being kind of sneaky about this. They're like, hey, look, $6 a month and you get hundreds of games, but not really.
You get 50 for the $6 right now. You get 50.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll get more later, and we don't know how much that's going to cost because they're not telling us right now.
It's the plus. They're like, the 50 plus. It's like it'll be more, maybe. I like this. I like that this is coming. I think as more players get into the cloud streaming kind of game services, I think it's only going to encourage each studio to try harder. I am a big fan of Stadia, and I want to see Stadia do more and more and become something amazing. So I like that we have Amazon, who's another, really big. You got Google, you got Amazon, and you've got some other one. My husband talks about this. They're like the top names that everybody knows. And so with Amazon coming out, maybe Google will say, okay, hey, we need to buckle down even more than we have been. But yeah, I like the controller.
We got you're not alone, Felix. F-Tendo also in there, loves the controller. So definitely an option there. I think it's one of those. It's my favorite saying, and I'm sure Dan was just waiting for it. That the rising tide lifts all boats. And I actually tweeted it today. I'm like, all right, tide, we're now rising. Like, this is the moment that we've all been waiting for to start moving everything forward on that. And Chase, we've had discussions on this too about how the more competition there is in the market, the better this all ends up for all of us.
Yeah, 100%. And it'll be interesting to see what the end goal is here for Amazon. I actually think it's pretty evident what their business plan is. I mean, it's two pieces. One, they're trying to combat Google's ecosystem. They want you to buy in. They want people that are already on. They have Alexa with the Echo Dots or whatever it is in their home to just say, "Hey, we're here. You don't have to move to another ecosystem, and we've got gaming." This will eventually be part of Prime. And I don't mean the Ubisoft piece. I mean the Luna Plus. They're going to wrap that into Prime. I don't think that's going to be an extra charge. I think they're landlocking this right now because they don't want a whole bunch of people on it. They're doing like what Google did. They want to kind of limit how many people are on the service on the front end. And then what they'll do is they'll do a la carte. It'll be just like a cable package. You want Ubisoft? Here's Ubisoft. You want this publisher? Here's this publisher. And you're just going to add a la carte on top of your Prime subscription. What's going to be really interesting to watch, and I think this is the part that's important out of this Amazon news, is they have a huge reach. And I want to separate something here, because sometimes we get caught up in, well, the tech works. To general consumers out there, they're not as wrapped up as we are into Stadia works. It's the best tech. It's all this. It's all that. Best technology in business has let me rephrase this. The best technology in business has sometimes not been the winner. The winner sometimes has been the company that had the lesser tech, because they were more effective in how they had outreach, their marketing, their public relations, how they talk to people. So Amazon's an interesting test case here because they have a huge install base, gigantic, large, like in a lot of homes. And now they're leveraging one of the biggest things that I saw this coming from a mile away. The Fire Stick and the Fire TV. Those are in a lot of people's homes. So now you just instantly, without even having to make someone buy something, you say, hey, guess what? If you got a Fire TV, you can play. Jump on, have fun. It's going to be very, very interesting. And I think Google, again, to go back to everyone's point here, they need to focus on their 1.5 to 2 year plan. Don't get off of that. But you have to do small things in the now to continue to stay relevant, where you don't get overlooked, especially, again, whether we want to admit this or not. They didn't come into the market the best way. So there's already that stigma. Amazon's not coming into this with that stigma. And one thing that's really interesting in this, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, notice how they led with early access. They have watched everything that Google has done, and they have learned from both the positives and from the things that didn't work, and they have implemented them. So it was a smart play on them to do this. I don't think Stadia is dead. You know, that rhetoric's going around. It's not dead. It's not dying. It's here. It's going to be fine, especially when they launch globally. Into more emerging markets. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, it's like it's with the, sorry, Dan, well, I don't know what I was going to say. It left my brain. Go ahead, Dan, and then I know Eddie wanted to.
I was going to say,
well.
so I'm not going to be having to register Luna Source anytime soon. Then
No,
I believe it belongs to a moon-based website anyway. So we'll...
Yeah, we don't have access there. I think Chase, you do bring up a very smart point about the Fire Stick. If you go into, I think I said this last week on the podcast. If you go to any U.S. retailer around our big shopping series, which is Black Friday and beyond, and then y'all with the Boxing Day and everything. There are just pallets of Chromecasts and Fire Sticks and Rokus right next to each other because you just grab one and throw it in for your Secret Santa drawing at work, or you grab one, you do it, or whatever. And now they just got a big end to so many people. Eddie, I know you are thinking about the Fire Stick.
Yeah, because Kai said the controller is cheap, and indeed it is $59. But in order for you to play on your TV, it's not only the controller. You need to have one of those Fire Sticks, and they go for. There's gonna go the new announcement for $40. So in order to play on your TV, guess what? You gotta spend that $100 just as the Premier Edition.
And not only that, they also have opened things up a little bit more than that. The Fire Stick has Bluetooth, and you can use your Xbox One controller, your DualShock 4, or mouse and keyboard if you happen to have a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard there. So whereas and you can't use your Stadia controller unless you're playing on PC because it's probably just using the HID standard. You can't use your Stadia controller on the Fire Stick because Stadia controller didn't have Bluetooth. Sabrina has Bluetooth coming out next week, but nothing on there. I mean, it's definitely a game changer. Andrew, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah. So, I mean, I love it because now we see Stadia's competition. This is what we've been waiting for, right? The other cloud gaming competition. The reason why I say Amazon's a true competition, the reason why Microsoft said Stadia and Amazon, the cloud gaming platforms, are going to be their competition is because Google was a cloud company at the very beginning. Google resides in the internet. Amazon is a cloud company in the beginning. All they ever do, their hardware when they first started was servers all over the world. That's all they want to do. That's how they expanded. That's how they're going to make cloud gaming be effective and efficient. Microsoft, software-based into console, into servers, is going to try and catch up, which is going to be very difficult. But I just love the fact that, we've been waiting for Amazon to sneak out this new service, and now we finally have a face to it, which is great. And, I don't know. I looked at the website. I don't really see a free tier. And like you said, it looks like they're just doing like an early access, the $5.99 a month. They're probably going to call it a beta because so many YouTubers was like, oh, Stadia, it's just a beta that people are paying $120 for. And I think that's what you kind of talked on as far as Amazon learned from the Stadia launch that, hey, let's not call this a service quite at the beginning, which is fine. I am curious if they'll ever have a free tier, because that is one of the beautiful things about Stadia is 1080p 60 FPS, which is right now what the Amazon Luna is saying they're only going to be able to do currently. That's a free tier on Stadia where you just have to buy the games. But I love, again, just your favorite saying, rising tide, all ships rise, super good. I could definitely see Amazon even evolving into, once a game's ported to their gaming Luna service, you search for the game in Amazon and there's just going to be like a little Luna purchase button where you can just, hey, $19.99 digital edition for Xbox or $18.99 for Luna edition if they ever launch buying physical games. But I mean, in the end, I just love it. I mean, in regards to just the competitions out there, we finally know, we finally get to see them. They're doing that Netflix model of game, which is going to be great. Stadia will continue to build up. And just like you say, Chase, Stadia just needs to stick to their guns. They know what they're doing. I looked up Google's financials. They make $41 billion in one quarter. We're golden. I don't think Stadia really needs to change up a whole lot. And to me, it's also going to be fun to see, all those people that kind of hated on Stadia and cloud gaming. I'm curious if they're going to be excited about Amazon Luna Plus because it's not Google, maybe, or if they're just going to be excited because now we have a Netflix style of games. I don't know, but it's competition's good. I love competition. I love that we know. Not the face of the enemy, but like the competition. We now know.
Stadia was trending on Twitter today, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't going to be good. I don't need to click on that." And of course, it was. And thankfully, it was an even mix of why is Amazon Luna doing this? Stadia is awful, so Amazon Luna will also be awful. And then people, trying to be relatively nice and concise about it. Dan, what are your reactions to the lunacy of this new plan? I stole your joke.
Yeah. I just want to make a note of this. This is not to say that it's never going to come, but I also want to make a note of the things like lack of, crowd play, crowd choice, state share. YouTube streaming integration. I know it integrates with Twitch. That's good, but whatever. I don't know whether that's something that they might be able to bring further down the line, maybe reword it, rehash it a little bit. But to me, it's almost like a Stadia copy and paste, but without some of those features. And I'm not saying that because, you know what I mean, I want it to fail. I want everybody to succeed. You know what I mean? I think you wrote it on Twitter earlier, Avery. You know what I mean? Burger King, well, McDonald's hasn't killed Burger King. You know what I mean? We've still got, you know what I mean? There's room in the pond for everybody. So, but I just wanted to make a note of those missing features. But at the same time, I can't really say much because we haven't actually got them on Stadia either. So
Then to add to that, I know we didn't got, but Baldur's Gate is coming next week.
it's coming.
Just like Cyberpunk
We-
2077,
we
7,
know-
it's coming.
Yeah, we know crowd play exists. We've seen it. We don't have it, but we've seen it.
But we know that crowd choice will be available on Twitch on day one as well. So it's up. It's gonna be up to every single game developer to integrate their services with Twitch, and I think they will be able to integrate the services with Luna as well.
And we're standing at a point where cloud gaming, if anything, Stadia was the herald in the wilderness, being the first person to trumpet that cloud gaming is a thing that can actually happen. And yes, there was xCloud, but it wasn't like their public release. And yes, there was GeForce, and RIP to Gaikai. But Stadia really was the one that had to step out first, take the bullets, take the slings and the arrows, and get people to kind of give it a little bit of a shot. And then here comes xCloud. And nobody's saying, like, if you look at Twitter for, this stuff, nobody's like, oh, xCloud's total crap, and I can't believe it. People are like, hey, yeah, I got Game Pass Ultimate. I tried xCloud. It kind of works. And now here comes Luna, and Luna gets to stand on both of their shoulders because you have Google proving the tech works, Microsoft proving that the games are there, and then Luna gets to kind of get the best of both worlds and work on both. And all that does universally is set us up for a future in which people go, oh yeah, cloud streaming. It's totally a thing. Like, it's not even a question anymore. Nobody questions the concept that you could stream movies and TV shows and audio to your house, despite the fact that there was once a Blockbuster and there was once only iTunes and, LimeWire and Kazaa and Morpheus and Napster. But it's a different world now with all of that.
Eddie, freeze.
Yeah. All right, and we'll bring it back. Don't you just love StreamYard sometimes? Dom, I we haven't heard from you on this. What have been your Luna thoughts?
Yeah, just sort of touch on a few points that people have made. Like Eddie mentioned about crowd choice being day one on Twitch. It's not quite the same integration as it is going to be on YouTube. From what I can understand, it's more of a everyone just has to type in chat the number that they want to pick, and then the Twitch sort of
the YouTube interface should be the clicking, but
yeah, so
Twitch's integration has always been
so there's slight iterations between them. Yeah, I mean, like Luna seemed to take.
I have to retort because it is clicking as well on Twitch.
Oh, it is.
Does Twitch have an integration for that? Okay.
Yeah, it's clicking.
All right, my bad then. I from what I understood, it was typing, but okay, I'm proven wrong.
I'm thinking of Twitch plays Pokemon.
I'm not sure I agree.
Integration.
I'm not sure I agree that it's going to be bundled with Prime though. Like from what the wording on it, it's $5.99 introductory price, which means I think it's going to be more expensive later on. I think this is just like an early access, get people to try it, and then they'll bump the price up later on. Similar to Game Pass on PC, has now gone up in price by about $4, £3 or something like that. They've taken inspiration from little bits, haven't they? I mean, we knew this was coming. I didn't think it was going to come this year. Personally, I thought they were going to release it or at least speak about it 2021.
Project Tempo.
Project Tempo is what it was sort of rumored to be called. Not a big fan of the controller. As said, I think it looks like a sort of knockoff of various controllers. But yeah, competition just will help, won't it? It'll bolster everything. Like, and Amazon have tried in the past, like if anyone remembers the Amazon phone, which was awful.
Fire phone.
Awful, because it had like 4 cameras in each corner. It was terrible. It really did badly. And they've also not had great success yet in the gaming world with Crucible, which they released on early access, and then the gaming world utterly rejected it. So
No.
like, yeah, it's cool, and I'll try it when and if it comes to the UK, because at the moment it's only US. So excited.
Yeah, I
for the
think
future.
all of my US stream teamers today were like, early access. I'll click that button. Why not? So I think all of us together, half of our team is in the UK and half of them are in the US. So we're all sitting there going, well, we can click the button. Clickety, clickety, click, click.
That's right. We'll
one
send
thing-
some spies in.
One thing we have not mentioned.
Not Freedom Land.
Well, that's true. Yeah, we got Eddie, just to my north. Couple of things that haven't come up that we do want to hit on is clear proof that it can work. They will be launching with 2 simultaneous players. So if you and somebody else who have the Luna Prime or the Luna Plus want to play at the same time, same game, you will be able to do that. And Biggie, they're launching on iOS. They're doing it through a progressive web app. So iOS and Android, iOS and iPad OS will have access to this, which means clearly it can be done through a progressive web app. We just haven't seen Stadia do it quite yet. Chase, I know you had some more thoughts on this.
So
go
one
ahead.
point, just
Dan
say,
then, or Dom then Chase. Yeah.
it's not on Android. They're not releasing on Android straight away, which I found a little bit strange.
Yeah, coming in the next few weeks, they said.
So
And-
Dom, I actually don't think it's strange because they have a partnership a little bit behind the scenes with Apple. There's more to that, by the way.
Were you
Yeah,
okay? Yeah,
Money deals.
Yeah, I get that.
And they Apple and or Google and Amazon have kind of been frenemies for a very long time, dating back to the Chromecast and Amazon Prime Video, and they've not really, YouTube on Amazon things. They've not really wanted to play very nicely together, and they've only recently started doing it either because they saw the dollar signs or they saw the court docket. One or the other were going to be in play on this. Chase, jump in.
No, I was just gonna. So to Dan's point about the about that it's a copy and paste. I wanted to give a movie for everybody to go watch because I think it's an interesting test case to the point I was making about that the best tech doesn't always win out in business. Go watch The Founder. It's a 2016 movie about what? Ray Kroc and McDonald's. Ray Kroc took the amazing idea that was in place by the I keep saying McDonald's, the brothers that actually founded McDonald's. He took it and ran with it, copied it, and ended up winning in the end, even though the brothers had the better idea. So don't think it can't happen in business. Just because you have the best idea doesn't mean that you're going to win out. And I'm saying that not to put Stadia down. I'm just trying to put that piece out there that's something that happens. So
you at least have Google. Google has very much proven that they are willing to wait. With Chrome not hitting market share until 10 years in. Gmail took off pretty quickly, but it's only gotten better. Google Photos had to be ripped from the cold dying corpse of Google Plus, which they let live for way too long. So Google is willing to give things time and wait if we will give them time. Random comment from Shane, from Brother Shane in the chat, one of our members. Luna is also the name for a revolutionary recording system by UAD released this year that many music studios are starting to use. So let the SEO fight begin. Up until today. So we looked at. Shout out to John Scar from the Best Buy Canada gaming blog, who is also very sad that this is not in Canada. But he and I were chatting about this today, and he's like, "Oh wait, Amazon Luna, it's a thing, and it has like 12 subscribers." So I was one of the first 50 followers of @Amazon Luna, which I'm certain at this point is probably in the thousands or whatever else, and I'm too lazy to go look it up. But we'll see how well they do. Certainly, the other problem is if you search Amazon Luna, you get. In fact, I'm going to do it right now live to show you what I saw because it's kind of ridiculous and it's all about SEO. Amazon Luna. You get this news, but then there's like, you know what? It's better now because of all the news. Earlier today, It was just 1,000 things you could buy on Amazon named Luna.
It was like facial creams and stuff like that to
right.
make your face look younger.
Thankfully, apparently everything has shut it down. The Stadia community is apparently talking about Amazon Luna. So it's right there. So interesting that this might be coming up. It's on Wikipedia now too.
The Luna controller takes 2 AA batteries.
Yeah, I saw that.
Ugh.
It has a USB-C port on it.
Yeah, but it
Is that for headsets only? I guess, or like
it's probably for direct connectivity to like the Fire TV, or there might be the option to do rechargeable batteries in it. That might be the other thing.
And you can buy those on Amazon.com.
I've always preferred controllers with the batteries,
really?
batteries, and they last longer. I've always thought, yeah. Like my Xbox controllers go for ages, depending on the type of.
Except when it takes the batteries out for
the love of play.
Oh, okay. So
because there's nothing worse than you're playing a game and you forgot to recharge your controller and it dies. And you've either then got to stretch a cable in front of you.
I do want to point this out. Price details right here: $20 off, $69.99, only available during early access period. So that is not the final price of that controller unless they decide to change this. So kind of interesting. I've seen that. Yeah. So breaking news: you're not paying just $50; it's also $70, but it will be later.
This sounds like a curse, though. This slogan: "For the love of play."
For the love of play, cripe and criminy.
They're taking everything. They're just taking bits and pieces.
And what a weird, what is this weird little textury nubby? I don't know how I feel about that.
It's just grippy.
Some sort of grip or something, isn't it?
It's grip.
What if you're feeling over it, and if you're, Charles, we need your help on this. If you're kind of feeling over it and you go, wait a minute, what does that say? What are they talking about? Buy Amazon Prime products now. Subscribe for just $29.99. Be a perfect place to put advertisements there. Anybody else got any final thoughts on Amazon Luna before we wrap that segment up? All right. Well,
go Luna.
Go Luna. You know what? Go Luna. I hope they do phenomenally, and I hope it grows and grows and grows, because all that means is get more people who are going to. And I'll also say this: it means Amazon putting pressure on studios to add crossplay, because they're going to want crossplay on these games. So now you've got Google and Amazon, the two biggest huge companies, saying, "Come on, EA."
Competition.
Well, we don't know how what this is running on yet, do we? So we don't know how much
it's definitely running on. It is running on. It's running Palm OS. It's running on Amazon AWS servers, so it's going to be on EC2 containers. The question is, you can run Linux servers on EC2. My company does it. You can run Windows servers on EC2. And the fact that this is so easily adopted for these games that are already on Xbox Game Pass, which is running Xbox hardware, which is based off of DirectX and Windows kind of backend to some degree. It's Windows Server. I would be amazed if this is not running on Windows Server, because if this was running on Linux, then there'd be all these games that we don't have for some reason that we really ought to have, and why don't we have them? If these games were on Linux, then we should have Sonic Mania, sorry Dan, and Control and Everspace and Res 7 and so on and so forth. So I suspect this is Amazon running on Windows Server, but who knows? Could be completely wrong. Because so far, whereas Stadia launched out of the gate, I don't want to resurrect this horse just to beat him again, but it's kind of going to Chase's point earlier, and it just occurred to me, so I'll say it. Stadia came hard out of the gate with the tech is amazing, and let's talk the teraflops, and let's talk about all the blades and the servers and stuff. And Amazon came hard out of the gate and said, it's 6 months a month. You get all the games you want. Here's the controller. It's got Twitch integrated, and you can play on whatever screen you want, including the iPhone. And that's it. That is at least round one of the ball game that they very clearly learned from. Everybody said Stadia was going to be the Netflix of games. Well, we'll just make that. Well, everybody said Stadia was too expensive for their subscription. Well, we'll just do that. Cool. Everybody's sad that you can't play Stadia on iPhones. Oh yeah, we'll just do that too. Cool. Why not? Yeah. Everybody's sad that Stadia doesn't have a lot of games. How about 100 on day one? or close to it because early access. So we'll see. We'll see. Project Storm. Are people going to get on Amazon for not being transparent, not telling everything consumers everything they want to know? Amazon keeps stuff close to the vest, probably just as close to the vest as Google does. And Dan has Felix has nabbed Lunasource on Twitter just in case we need it. So we have at Lunasource, which whoever owns lunasource.com is probably not going to be super happy about that. It's and Nick's Luna is the name of Earth's moon. Is it a Google Earth tie-in? No, I don't. I can't imagine that has anything to do with it. I couldn't resist the Star Wars joke. That's not a moon. Anyways, it's Amazon, the Death Star. My nerd is showing. With that note, thank you guys for a fantastic hot topic discussion today. We have posted the hot topic poll on at Stadia Source. So if you want to give us your thoughts, are you going to try to get in and play with Amazon Luna? Head over to at Stadia Source on Twitter, take the poll, and let us know your thoughts on that. It's the hot topic poll.